Hey family, it's Netta back at you with Black Lives Count, and I am so happy and esteemed to be with you today. So family, as you see, and I'm sure you are all aware, that the United States has began strikes on Iran. It was very early in the morning hours of Saturday morning when we all were resting and thinking that everything was fine. And so they struck them. So according to Donald Trump, he says that they are striking them, or they were attacking them because of the nuclear weapons that Iran, is being accused of trying to create. And now, about a year or so ago, the United States did the same thing, at that time saying that they were destroying the nuclear facilities that Iran had so that they could not create nuclear weapons. So I'm not understanding why they are attacking them again. But my thing is this: if the United States, if Israel, if Russia, if China, if North Korea has the capability, and the UK of having, and the US of course, of having nuclear arms, then how can you then tell another country that is independent and sovereign that they can't have the same protection that you have, against them, that they can't have that protection against you? It's really giving that this country is being a bully. It really is, because we have to look at this, okay? As far as I'm concerned, no country should have the ability to destroy the world. They didn't create this world. So no country should have that ability. And I feel like, they have all of these summits and everything. Why is it that none of the countries, why don't they come to the conclusion that none of the countries will produce weapons of mass destruction? I'll tell you why. Because the United States wants to be in control. It is a bully. It is a bully country. So is the West, so is France, so are all the European nations. They're bullies. They are bullies. It is, the United States are not, right now, they, for a lack of better expression, they're in a really bad shithole place, because they are alienating all of their allies. Now, Iran was not an ally, but their other allies, because of the situation with Greenland, the situation with Venezuela, when they went over there and they kidnapped the president of Venezuela, the president and first lady of Venezuela. I mean, these people are very, there are a few analyzers or strategists, political strategists, that have said that the United States is brinking on a third world war because they are unable and incapable of allowing other countries to have their sovereign state, their independence, be able to run their countries in the manner in which they want to. It is. It's just awful. It really is. And then for him to get on there and the way he said, we just told them that they cannot, and since they're not going to listen, we're going to make them listen. That sounds so barbaric. It really does. And you know what? A lot of the so-called patriotic, okay, the ones that don't want to go to the war, okay, the ones who will draft dodge and go hide over in Canada and other places or in their mama's basements, you know, those white men that don't want to carry their asses over there to fight in the war will draft dodge, and then but they're out there, their group is out there, their community is out there, you know, causing these wars. You know, I hate to see it that there are so many black people that are in the military. We are overly represented in the military because they, you know, tell us that that's being patriotic and that's loving our country and we should want to fight and die. Foundational black Americans have fought in every single war that this country has started. We have so many foundational black Americans that have died in wars or have been incapacitated permanently. My father was a veteran who fought in the Vietnam War. Okay? And he came home from that. And they don't treat veterans worth a damn in this country to ask you to sacrifice your life. And the ones that will not sacrifice their lives call themselves patriotic. So I'm going to read a snippet from an article, I think it's from the BBC, you know, and we'll have a discussion about it. But, you know, this country is just, I mean, we're headed for some really dark times and dark days. Copyright disclaimer, 1976, fair allowances made for fair use. So, American and Israeli forces have carried out strikes on cities across Iran in what U.S. President Donald Trump has described as major combat operations. Trump called for the Iranian people to rise up and overtake their government forces. Now, do you hear that? This is a current administration over the United States telling another people to rise up against their government. Now, if we were talking like that about this government, you would be in prison. They would be charging you with all kind of espionage and all kind of other things. You would be locked up. But this is the head of the United States telling the people of Iran to rise up and fight their government. This is the issue with the United States and other European nations, because they fund wars. They fund civil wars in other countries. This is the shit they do. He later said that Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei was killed. Iran did not confirm this. In fact, I saw an article of Iran saying that it was untrue, that he had not been killed in the attack. And then I guess Netanyahu has just recently came forward and said he was. Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps said it was responding to the strikes by targeting U.S. bases and assets across the Middle East as part of the Operation Truthful Promise 4. This comes after weeks of threats and negotiations over Iran's nuclear programs. Here's how the international community is reacting. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres condemned the military escalation. First of all, because apparently the president is supposed to have Congress. Congress is supposed to determine if we need to go into war or not, and that didn't happen. He just got up this morning, okay, whatever time it was, and said we're going to war. This is the recklessness. And this is very, very, it's terrible. It's terrible for the American people. It's terrible for the Iranian people. There are no protocols we're following. There's nothing that we're doing that we're supposed to be doing. We're just doing whatever we want to do. But this is the way it has always been for America. Also, Antonio Guterres warned that international peace and security were being undermined. The use of force by the United States and Israel against Iran and the subsequent retaliation by Iran across the region undermine international peace and security. See, they're not trying to have peace and security. They want to cause this escalation so that there is and it's all about that one world order. Okay? It's all about that. At an emergency UN Security Council meeting in New York on Saturday afternoon, U.S. Ambassador Mike Waltz said the strikes were directed towards specific and strategic objectives: to dismantle missile capabilities that threaten allies, to degrade naval assets used to destabilize international waters, and to disrupt the machinery that arms proxy militias, and to ensure that the Iranian regime never ever can threaten the world with a nuclear weapon, but the United States can, and Israel can threaten the world with nuclear weapons. See, this is bully tactics. Why don't they go over there and strike Russia? I tell you why. Because Russia has the capability and the nuclear arms that can reach the United States, that can tear a hole in our asses. That's why. That's the same reason they don't attack China or North Korea. It's because that they know what will happen. These are countries that can protect themselves. You know, every day more and more, my mother used to have a saying: don't write a check that your ass can't cash. Some of you may remember that some of your mothers or fathers saying that. The United States is writing a check that their asses will not be able to cash. And pretty soon payment is going to come due. Literally. Any day. See, this is why I don't tie myself to this country. Yes, I'm a foundational Black American. I was born in America. My ancestors were slaves in America, but I don't tie myself to America, because scriptures tell me America is doomed. That's just coming from scripture. Babylon is doomed. And so it will disseminate, willingly or unwillingly. And at the rate we going, it's going to be real soon. Israeli Ambassador Danny Danon said Israel, together with the United States, acted to stop an existential threat to Israel and to our allies and to global stability. When a regiment chants death to Israel, death to America, we take it seriously. Well, that's the same thing that America is doing. It's not any different. It's not any different, and I don't understand why we are not um, asking ourselves the same question. We're doing the same thing that we're accusing them of. We're being a bully. We are being a bully. So, Russia, Iran's ally, condemned the strikes. As I said, the aggression that Iran was subjected to today has already resulted in an escalation in the region and could spill over far beyond its borders. This is what Russian Ambassador Vasily Nebenzia said. He warned. Moscow earlier called on the international community to assess what it called irresponsible actions aimed at undermining peace, stability, and security in the Middle East. Active and serious negotiations have yet again been undermined. I urge the United States not to get sucked in further. This is not your war. This came from Russia. This is what Russia said. So they're telling America, this is not your war. You might want to back up. But, of course, remember in school when the bully was the bully, whoever the bully was, they wasn't listening to reasoning, logic. No. And, with the situation with BRICS, which is Russia, China, Iran, I believe there's about 38 other countries or so, maybe 39. And I believe North Korea is now in talks with Russia, China, and Iran. This is a piss show. Because, millions of people's lives are in danger. See, this why when people be saying, and I get it. I understand. My ancestors here and my mama bones here and everything else. But when people be saying that they not going to leave America ever, we all going to have to leave here. You're not going to have a choice. Because it's not going to be here no more. You're going to have to walk up out of here. Iran's foreign minister Abbas Araghchi blasted the joint U.S. and Israeli strikes as wholly unprovoked, illegal, and illegitimate. Saudi Arabia condemned Iran's retaliatory because Iran started striking the U.S. bases in Saudi Arabia and all in that area, Tehran and all that area. So now, because of these strikes that the United States and Israel has put upon Iran, Iran can't or is not retaliating right now to America, but they're retaliating, and I don't think they have the missiles that can reach. But what they do have, or the range or whatever, but what they do have is friends that have the capability that United States and Israel have. And I don't think the United States and Israel is taking that into consideration. First of all, Netanyahu runs America. Israel runs America. Period. So when we're looking at all these things that's going on, know that Israel is in control. So anyway, Saudi Arabia condemned Iran's retaliatory attacks on Bahrain, the UAE, the Qatar, Jordan, and Kuwait as it denounced in the strongest terms blatant Iranian aggression. I mean, I don't understand why they don't understand why they did that. If they were put up on, they didn't do it before they were put up under an attack. So you can see everybody who's lining up with whom. We can see what's going on. We see who gonna be lined up with who and who's not gonna be. We can see all the cliques lining up together. You know, it's and I'm not going to say it's even frightening, because if you know your history and you know the Bible and you are affiliated and close with your father, you know it's inevitable what's going to happen. A joint statement by French President Emmanuel Macron and German Chancellor Friedrich Merz and UK Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer also urged Iran to seek a negotiated solution. So, as I said, you see who's lining up with whom. It is inevitable that we are going into the Third World War, it looks like, possibly. And, you know, we have to just brace ourselves because, you know, we don't know what's going to happen from this point. But I would say get your affairs in order and broaden your mind about the things that are transpiring, and we just have to get prepared. We really have to get prepared, family. And this is going to be the time when foundational Black Americans need to come together. We need to come together. Because it would be ideal if all Black people, you know, the diaspora and all of us can come together. That would be ideal. Hopefully, maybe that can happen out of this. I mean, all of this is meant to be anyway. You know, so, I mean, it's getting pretty scary now. It really is getting pretty scary, and I just say we just gotta brace ourselves. Don't panic. Don't you know, be all upset and get in a frenzy and a huff. Just get ready. Just get prepared. No, we cannot trust our enemy, and we know who our enemy is. Who has been our enemy for over 400 years? We know who that enemy is. We are quite affiliated with our enemy. And it is time now for us to withdraw and come together, our community, and get prepared. Because when the shit go downhill, trust and believe, as you see right now, we're fighting everybody. We're fighting Asians. We're fighting Caucasians. We're fighting Hispanics. We're fighting tethers. We're fighting every damn body. And trust and believe that's going to continue. And only thing is, it's going to escalate and it's going to get worse. So we need to know that and prepare for that. All right, family, I thank you so much for joining me for this video. And I hope you got something from it. I hope that we can see that we really have to come together now because it's time. And we'll see. We'll see what happens from here. Peace, love, and blessings to each and every one of you. Love yourselves, care for yourselves, take care of your families, and don't panic, don't worry, don't stress. We've been here always, and we'll continue to be here because we're the people of the Most High. All right? All right, family. Take care. Thank you so much. Like, share, and subscribe. And black love. All right. Bye-bye.